This is Leona Graham, and I'm here to ask women about their biking journeys and what makes them want to start, or how we can encourage them to start biking. And here's what they had to say. Mo here's just had a go on a motorbike for the first time. How was it?
It was really good.
What did you think beforehand?
I've always wanted to do it.
Okay.
But it's just like, this just makes it feel like so much more better.
Why have you always wanted to do it?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah, my dad's very into motorbikes.
So have you been pillion?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you wanted to try yourself for the first time.
Yeah.
And what was it like for the first time when you opened that throttle?
It was really good. Yeah, I really enjoyed myself.
Was it exhilarating?
Yeah.
Were you nerve-wracking at all, or?
No, honestly, the people here make you feel so comfortable. It's really good.
Oh, that's good. So you
Yeah.
didn't have any sort of fears or anything like that?
No, God, no.
Well, that's fantastic. Are you going to go to the next step and maybe book a CBT or another
Yes,
try day?
that's already booked.
You've done it already?
Yes.
Amy here has literally just tried it out for the very first time in your life. How was it?
It was really good. I felt really nervous before, but I came out of it really confident.
So how did you feel beforehand? You were a bit nervous and apprehensive?
Yeah, I was really scared.
What made you try it today?
I don't know, my dad rides motorbikes and I always go on the back of his and I would really enjoy it. So I want to learn how to do it myself.
So you've obviously had experience on a bike.
Yeah.
But this is your first time in control.
Yeah.
And did you feel scared when you opened that accelerator?
I was scared, yeah, but it was quite easy to get balance and stuff after you try it.
Easier than you thought?
Yeah, it was.
What about the bike height? Did that feel okay for you?
Yeah, but I got quite a short one, so
Yeah.
I could put both my feet on the floor, so that made it a lot easier.
And in terms of the sort of the weight of the bike, how did you feel with that?
It was good.
Yeah?
Like, they helped me balance it before, and then after a while I got used to it and it was good.
And do you feel slightly exhilarated now?
Yeah,
You think you might...
I want to get one, yeah.
Really? So you're
Yeah.
going to book your CPT?
Yeah, I want to.
Why are you here today at Motorcycle Live?
Mainly because boyfriend decided that he wanted to come and convinced us that we should come too, which wasn't hard to convince us.
Right, that's the whole reason I'm here, to talk about it from the female point of view. So your boyfriend's obviously a rider,
Yep.
but you're not.
No, I'm learning. Did
You
my
are
CBT
learning.
last December.
And what about you?
Same, did my CBT in the summer, and then my theory, and then do my mods early next year.
So what made you get into biking then?
Dad.
Your
Yeah,
dad?
it's her dad, my boyfriend.
Okay, all
Yeah.
making sense to me now.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and he's sort of encouraged you over the years, has he?
Massively, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have to go and say hello and goodbye to the girls in the
Yeah.
garage. There's
Yeah.
like 4 in there. We have to
Right.
go and say hello to them every day.
Kiss them goodnight, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So why haven't you done it sooner, if you don't mind me asking?
It was always one of those things, it's like a bucket list thing to actually get my bike licence. And it's like suddenly at that age where you think, you know what, you just got to go and do it. So I decided to do it.
Were you nervous beforehand? Any apprehensions about it?
Yeah, really nervous. Like driving a car for so long and it's like completely different. But
What's different? What would you say to women that are too scared to start out, maybe?
oh, if it scares you, then you have to do it. It's like,
Okay, why?
because it's that fear thing. It's like you're never, when you're in your comfort zone, you're not scared of. But as soon as you step out the comfort zone, it's terrifying, which means you're going to grow. So you have to do it.
And did you find it exhilarating because it was scary at first, maybe?
Yeah, absolutely. But mastering it as well. It's like, you know, it's a good feeling.
Are you a biker yourself?
No, my husband is
Okay. And how long have you been with your husband?
30 years.
30?
Yeah.
And you're not a biker?
No.
Any reason why?
Fear, really.
And what steps might you take? Have you considered going on a free ride event where you can have a go?
a free ride event years ago, but it was very more male. It was like towards the males and the female.
Good news is it's completely changed now. There's a more percentage of women doing it. And there's female instructors. Would
Yeah.
that encourage you a little bit?
Definitely, yeah.
So any reason why you haven't become a full biker yourself?
Because car was more important when I was younger, I suppose.
Any other reasons? Any fears?
Yeah, I suppose I was happy to get on the back, but would have liked to get on the front.
And what's held you back, do you think, from just taking that next step?
Not being around the right people, I think, not having the right support.
Have you heard of the free ride events?
I haven't, no.
Okay, they're a Honda thing where you can just turn up. Well, you don't just turn up, you book it, and you can go on a bike for a couple of hours for free and try it out
Wow.
with some instructors before you think about doing the tests and everything you need to do. You can have a go on one.
Yeah, you
Would
kind of need the experience before you could even think about whether you could or couldn't. Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that might encourage you to take the next step?
Definitely, yeah. If I could get on like a trial bike and see how I got on. God, yeah.
Well, that's the answer, isn't it?
Yeah.
To encourage women to get into biking, I just encourage them to take their time a bit more. I do think as women we have natural instincts to be a bit more protective and a bit more nervous, so we've just got to take our time and breathe and relax and reset before we set off and do things.
Well, what made you start in the first place? Going way back to the beginning before you were a biker, what made you want to be a biker?
I saw a picture of Marc Marquez in an MCM paper, leaning the bike around a corner with his knee down, and that just it ignited something in me. There was something telling me, like, maybe you can try and do that. Maybe not as good as Marc Marquez, but just go on track and ride a bike and really master the art of riding a sports bike, especially because they're the hardest to ride, you know.
So Ruby, what would you say to women who are looking to get into biking?
I would advise women to just bite the bullet and go for it. And also, if you know someone in the industry already, someone who, I don't know, works in a dealership or works in a CBT centre, or someone who you know is a rider and has contacts in the industry that can help you and guide you through your journey, then maybe speak to them and ask them to guide you, because there's nothing like getting first-hand experience from an actual rider as opposed to doing your own research and everything like that. So if you know a rider or a biker, even someone that you see on social media that you feel like you can connect and relate with, get in touch with.
They can reach out to you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%. And I've had loads of, especially women, actually get in touch with me and say, what do I do now? What bike should I get? What test do I need to do? And reaching out like that, and people are more, like, most of the time people are more you spend more time on social media, so that's a good way to relate and connect to someone and get help from them. And you know, bikers are most of the time are friendly and happy enough to help, so that's what I would advise them to do.
Yeah, brilliant. It's a lovely community, isn't it? So just sort of asking around and finding out like that.
Hi Emily, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, good, thank you. What's brought you here today?
Just out of interest, really. Wanted to have a look at potential bikes to get. I've got a 125 at the moment, little cheap and cheerful scooter. Would like to get a proper bike, so yeah.
What made you get into biking to start with?
Started off as practicality, actually. You know, easier than getting a car. Quite, easy to run, nice and cheap. And then now it's like, oh, hang on, this is a lot of fun. I don't think I want a car.
Really?
Yeah.
So you haven't passed your driving test?
No.
You've gone straight to biking?
Straight to bikes, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. And what would you say to other female bikers or people that might not be a biker yet but think, I might try this?
Yeah, I think just go for it. I always kind of thought of bikes, as you look at the great big sports bikes and like really aggressive riding positions, and sitting on a few today, I'm like, do you know what? I don't want to be uncomfortable, but I do want to have a good time. And, especially if you're looking at like more retro style ones, like get some really fun and quirky bikes. It doesn't have to be something really big and aggressive to have loads of fun.
Now, what would you say to other women who might want to start their biking journey but might be a little bit apprehensive?
Yeah, I feel like women in nature, by nature, we can be a little bit, sort of self-critical, and we put a bit of pressure on ourselves. And sometimes it's hard to start because you don't want to fail. And me personally, when I was learning, I was the slowest learner ever. I'd get so frustrated. I don't pick things up fast. I was a bit of a liability, if I'm honest, on the road. But I persevered, and you just have to persevere and just believe in yourself and get on that bike. And even if you're thinking, do you know what, I'm not picking this up, I don't know if it's for me, if you push past it and you get to understand the bikes, you get proud of how you ride it, literally it just changes everything. And now, I just can't imagine my life without bikes. It's just such an integral part of who I am. I just love them.
To see so many women actually going out and passing their mod 1s and mod 2s and actually going out and doing it for the women, it is fantastic to see so many ladies in one place that are so enthusiastic about riding.
So I've just passed my CBT,
Okay.
so I've been having lessons for a couple of years, on and off, but COVID stopped me for a while,
Of
so I'm
course.
just getting back into it now.
What made you start in the first place?
My partner rides, so I just wanted to not be a pillion all the time and have a little bit of independence on the road.
How long were you a pillion before you thought, I'm going to do this myself?
A few years.
Right.
Yeah. But
Was there anything that put you off in going from pillion to your own bike?
just controlling a machine, which is I found quite hard moving up from a sort of 125 up to a 650, which I'm practicing on at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So it is a big step. It's a big jump.
But before that, the 125 stage, how did
Yes.
you feel and how did you get started?
Well, it was a gift for my birthday from Chris.
From your other half. Okay,
yeah.
that isn't a hint. I don't know what it is. You will be a biker.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I made the most of that, and we were on the road. And through the intercom, he kind of helps me. It doesn't think for me, but he kind of guides me in the right direction.
And that gives you the confidence, does
Massively,
it? Right.
massively, yeah.
What would you say to
Yeah.
other women that haven't got boyfriend on a microphone? How would they get started? Do you think?
I've got a guy who is called Willem. I'm doing my training with him at the moment, and you just need somebody you can connect with.
Okay, so it's about finding a good instructor
it is,
or a
yeah.
good friend to help you.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well that's
And it's really
fantastic.
good. It's just an exhilarating feeling when you get out on the road, and then you come back and you think, yeah, I achieved that. That was really good.
So it's a sense of achievement as well, is it?
Yeah, as well, and the freedom and it's so relaxing when you're actually on the bike and you get out there and you can see the views, and you can take yourself off anywhere you want to.
So would you say to other women, look, just go for it?
Absolutely, give it a try. You
Yeah.
can always say it's not for me.
I would sum up the show as a really fun day with like-minded people, definitely. So it's really great to see all the motorbike women and all the businesses that are involved as well that are taking motorbike women seriously. That's really nice.
What would you say to women who are reluctant to start out?
Start small. I think if I'd gone, because for me, I think I did a lot of smaller trips before I, launched into a big trip. But also, I think the biggest thing about starting in biking is that I think for women, there's a lot of pressure for us in society to be quite perfect. And I think especially like when you're in school, you're raised to kind of think that making mistakes is a bad thing. You should always remember your homework. You should always be on time. And you're almost, it's expected. I think like in school, from my experience, a boy could show up late and it'd be like, oh, they're being a boy. And, if you were a girl, it'd be an instant detention. And I think that's left women with a lot of anxiety about not being perfect at all times. And I think when it comes to biking, unfortunately, nobody is born with the skill to motorbike. You just have to take it one step at a time, and you have to accept the fact that you are going to fail, you are going to fall, but also remember that you want to, because you'll learn more from failing and making mistakes than you will ever do from being perfect straight off the bat.
Right, yeah.
So
That's really good advice, and hopefully we can take that on board. And anybody watching who might want to start in biking. How do you think we can encourage women into biking? I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it? What do you suggest, Kendrea?
I think being out there, join all the meets, join the social medias, put yourself out there, I think. And don't be afraid to, to join up and just to turn up on your own and say, hi, here I am.
Yeah.
I've got every right to be there as much as anybody,
Exactly. I like that, yeah.
Yes.
Finding people that are like-minded, maybe at events like this or online.
Yes, I notice when I ride sometimes that I do feel a little bit bullied by people because I feel tiny, I feel very small. So I just make sure that I'm as big and as, proud as I am riding along rather.
Yeah.
I've done this CBT, I've got this new bike, I'm gaining the skills, I've got every right to be here, and if I hold you up for a second, so be it.
Yeah, good for you.
Mentality. It's
Yes.
a really good mentality.
And what do you think, Ruby? How can we encourage more women into biking?
Providing more accessible information. So when I first started, I had no idea what was what. When you get your car license, it's so easy to know what to do next. You apply for a provisional. With bikes, I remember just not knowing what was what, and not many. Every website explained it in a different way, and restricted license 8. I was like, what? Am I restricted? Am I not restricted? So having more accessible information, having events like this that even non-biker girls or guys can come to and find information for themselves, mingle with bikers and manufacturers and brands to find information, the correct information on what to do. And I think businesses and companies, brands and manufacturers should be considerate to being more approachable. Dealerships should be more approachable, more respectful to women, not patronising any customer regardless of their gender. Not assuming that when a woman walks in she's after a 125.
Hi Daisy.
Hello.
So how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 18.
18. So what's made you start with biking?
It was mostly my dad. He grew up having bikes since he was 17. And I'd spent ages when I was about 2 years old in the shed with him, sort of working on his bikes, and just naturally when I was 16,
did my CBT.
Oh wow, yeah.
Got a little Geared 50. We actually went to ABR Festival, and we live in Suffolk. So about 5 days after I did my CBT, got onto a Geared 50, 360-mile round trip.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
What would you say to other young women who want to start biking? How would you encourage them?
Absolutely do it. Just don't worry about what other people think about it. Just do it. You'll make so many more friends. Everyone who has bikes is so welcoming, and it's just one of the best decisions I've made.
So it's a social thing for you as well?
Yeah.
And what about if people are sort of worried about the dangerous side of biking? What would you say about that?
Get the right gear and just keep paying attention and you should be fine.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes up when you're riding. Don't be stupid. And you're fine.
That's really encouraging. Well, thank you, Daisy. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you, you too.
So to get more women into the motorcycling industry, there's lots of ways we can do it from the ground up. So that's starting from having lowered bikes available for shorter ladies, encouraging more CBT schools to have lowered bikes so that ladies can get their licenses, having more women in marketing, and obviously events like this, having attendance here shows that you're trying to get into the industry for women. And just catering for them more with different sizes, fits in clothing.
Can you tell us about Ride Free? What is it?
Ride Free is a experience which first of all is free.
Okay.
It's run by Honda, it's promoted by Honda, and it's designed to introduce people that have never ridden and who may be a little bit apprehensive, reticent to give it a go. Gives them a nice, safe environment to come along and try riding a motorcycle up to 125cc with an instructor by their side. So it's a really easy introduction.
So how would you encourage more women to do this? Because they might be apprehensive or think that biking's not for them. What would you say to them?
I would say, first things first, the industry and particular training are trying to overcome that as a barrier. For example, my school, we always encourage women to come along. We've got female instructors.
Oh, that's good.
There is, and I know because I've seen 2 or 3 of them on Ride Free myself, female instructors at quite a few of the events around the country.
So that would really sort of help women come forward and maybe give it a try.
Yes. Yeah, motorcycling is a bit masculine at times, but it can be quite off-putting. But the industry generally wants to change. We want to encourage more women to ride. We want it to be more representative than it is at the moment. So, as I say, there are female instructors at quite a few of the events. Instructor I know, for example, Steph, she's bike mad. She's been riding for about 8 years, 9 years now, and as soon as she could, she became an instructor, and it's a full-time job now. She's 25, I think. She is one of the instructors for Ride Free at a few of the events.
And with Nick from Motorcycle Experience. Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Can you tell us about Try Ride?
Yeah, Try Ride is a feature of the show. This has been running for more years than I care to remember. It's all about getting new riders onto motorcycles for the first time.
Now, as we know, the motorcycle industry is masculine-led with a huge percentage, like 90% or something. How are you finding the percentages here at Try Ride?
It's over the last 5-6 years, it's got more and more female orientated. I would say that bookings for this year are indicating 50 to 52% women. I think for the first time we may even see the majority of people trying a bike for the first time here at the show being female rather than male.
That's fantastic. So what can you offer for women bikers that just want to have a go, or not women bikers rather, somebody that's never done it? What is the appeal of Try Ride?
Oh, Try Ride is an easy way of getting on a motorcycle. I mean, we've learned over the years of doing this exactly how to make someone feel as comfortable as possible. The main thing with people is that they have a picture in their mind of what the experience is going to be like, and they're more afraid of their of making a fool of themselves than they are of their ability. And what we have to do is to bring out the ability that they inherently have. It's incredibly rare that somebody doesn't manage to ride a motorcycle. I mean, we're behind screens here. People, it's only close family and friends that are allowed in to watch. We have fully qualified professional instructors. Most of the team out here have worked with us for for years and years and years, so they know exactly how to go through the process. We take people who are nervous, and when they come off they've got a broad smile that tells us exactly what we've achieved.